What's up, traders? Andrew O'Connell here with Pristine Capital, coming at you with yet another market recap video. It is October 15th, options expiration day. Hope you all had a good trading day. Today we're going to talk about the price action in the indices. We're going to talk about OPEX, some of the trades that I did today. Before we jump into all that, quick risk disclaimer. Nothing in this video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan and your own risk parameters. Last but certainly not least, do not YOLO your entire account into any one of my trades or anyone's trades for that matter. All right, let's dive in, team. We have Coco in the background here, as you can see. All right, box scores for today. We have the S&P 500 as measured by the SPY close out 0.76%. We had the NASDAQ QQQ finish up 0.63%. IWM small caps were our big loser for the day, closing down 0.31%. And then we had the Dow Jones closing up 1.1%. We did have some of the banks and some of the financials report earnings today. Goldman Sachs in particular, Wall Street was impressed with their earnings. They beat on sales and they beat on earnings as well. And that likely helped out the Dow Jones today. Volatility, you can see we had downticks in S&P 500 volatility, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones. We had an uptick in the small cap volatility index, pretty noteworthy there, up 3.87%. In terms of breadth, we had positive breadth, pretty mixed across the board, I would say. We had the Dow Jones with really nice breadth up 79%, whereas on the other hand, we had the small caps with 35% breadth. And we had the NASDAQ with 57 and the SPY with 65. So you can see today all of these indices, they're all over the place. They're all very different. And that's likely due to options expiration. Options expiration, you get so much hedging that's taking place. It's almost like a resetting of the deck. And oftentimes you do get this kind of like wonky price action. It's really tough to take much signal from what's happening today. Because today's really like the close of one chapter. Monday will be the beginning of a new chapter, so to speak. Finviz Heat Map, you can see we had strength in Amazon and Tesla of 3.31% and 3.02% respectively. Strength in these financials, as I mentioned earlier, Goldman Sachs reported earnings. Let's take a look at what Goldman Sachs did. You can see here Goldman Sachs, really nice tape action today. Check this out. So we had nice volume on this candle, and Goldman Sachs actually closed above this monthly value area high. So this is definitely going to be one to watch moving forward. And this is in the financials group. Let's take a look at that financials ETF. This is one that I'm very bullish on. Nice. And we had a clean breakout today, team. So that is awesome. Let's take a look. So that is our Finviz Heat Map. Let's check out our sectors. You can see here for sectors we had, where was the strength? We had blockchain names up 3.58%. Oh my gosh, such strength in these names. My Hut mining trade, we definitely have to take a look at Hut. We'll do that right after this. You can see a pretty mixed board. We had strength in consumer discretionary. We got the retail sales data out today, and it was much better than expected. So that led to some buying in that area of the market. But you can see we had some areas that were laggards. We had solar energy, which is one of our top momentum slots, down 0.37%. Gold miners down. What else was down? Cannabis was down big time, down 2.09% and 1.38% for the advisor shares pure U.S. cannabis fund. So let's take a look at our crypto assets. Let's check it out, team. So Bitcoin, we actually got, a potential approval of some of these Bitcoin ETFs. So that just means a whole new class of investors that has no exposure to Bitcoin now has that on-ramp. It's like financial advisors. Maybe they'll say, hey, invest in this Bitcoin futures ETF. That way you can get some exposure if you don't want to create a crypto wallet. So look at what Bitcoin did. Oh my gosh. Right after market close, we had this huge pump over here. And let's pull this up. Yeah, so Bitcoin, it's now at a point where pretty much everyone that's ever invested in Bitcoin is above water on their investment. Earlier in the day, we got to 63,000. The all-time high is 65K. So really what this is doing, anyone that bought this prior all-time high, when the asset crashed, they they likely felt like idiots. Like, oh my gosh, we bought the all-time high. Now this thing crashed 50%. Now all those investors are getting the perfect out point where, hey, if you bought at 60K, now's your chance. If you just got to break even and you're like, get me out of this thing, it's been horrible, you can do that. I certainly wouldn't mind if we actually just consolidated for a few days and just shake out some of those weak hands. I think what would be even better is, like, if we were to pull back to say like 60K right now, there would be a bunch of weak hands that bought, say, at like 65, that would just probably sell everything. Because they'd be like, oh my gosh, I should have sold and broke even, now it's going down, and then they'd probably sell. But I think the path of least resistance for Bitcoin at this point is to the upside. It does have this parabolic look to it, which is never a good thing. I like to see nice structure behind the price action. I wouldn't mind a consolidation here at all. But given this catalyst, this is a big deal. Maybe we do just rip through. Tough to tell. And then Ethereum as well, up 0.69%, also very close to the prior all-time highs. So it's going to be a crazy day when both of these are just, off to the races. We'll have to see that. We're looking really solid. And then, specifically Hut Mining. It's a name I put on a call spread, a couple days ago. Shared that with Pristine Capital members, alerted them in real time. I was able to get a call spread on for about 72 cents. And I have the 10 by 12 call spread. So this one we just blew through the upper end, which is a good thing. So Hut Mining looking really strong as Bitcoin, gets very close to the prior all-time highs. Let's take a look at our indices. Let's check these out. So we have S&P 500. Let's take a look at what happened today. So we're now above 5-day EMA, 20-day SMA, 50-day simple moving average. We're above this monthly point of control. I think a likely destination for this rally is this monthly value area high of 4478.75. Then we will have fulfilled the prophecy from the 80% bullish rule. My market trend model is at a +3, which pretty much means, full steam ahead. It has been for the past 2 or 3 days. So likely destination. Then from there, maybe we get a pullback, because this has been a really nice 3-day move in the market. Now let's take a look at our NASDAQ. NASDAQ up 0.71%, and check this out. NASDAQ finally retesting that 50-day moving average, and even the NASDAQ just broke into this monthly value area. So pretty encouraging sign. Keep in mind though, it is options expiration. Tough to really say with certainty, but perfect sign. This is just constructive action across the board. Russell 2000. Let's check this out. We had this really nice gap higher. So like for IWM specifically, really nice gap higher. We built on that just a little bit. Then you can see throughout the day we did have some selling. This is occurring on high volume. Good thing though is, the small caps have had a huge move. Like, look at this breakaway gap. This is pretty insane. So to me, it's not really all that shocking that, hey, we get some profit takers, whatever. We hit right up against this red trend line that I have drawn up here, and that's where we found some sellers. Now, normally this might be like, oh my gosh, this is a huge cause for concern with the small caps. Given that it's options expiration, pretty much like this 225 strike, this is a significant gamma level. A lot of times for OPEX, you do get a pinning effect where you pin at a really high open interest level in the market. So to me, it's almost like, all right, guys, you got your pin at 225. But for me, maybe we retest this trend line that we broke through. But I really think, these small caps are likely moving higher. But, objectively looking at it, you certainly don't want to see this just sell off throughout the day. We're gonna have to see what happens in next week. Let's take a look at our Dow Jones. Like I said earlier, Goldman Sachs really came through on earnings, and a lot of these financial services companies are. So Dow Jones looking really strong. We just broke out of this monthly value area. So, I've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks, but small caps in Dow Jones and value stocks, cyclicals, financials, etc. This is where I think it makes most sense to be, for this next up leg in the market. We're seeing that with this move in the Dow Jones. take a look over here. We will pull up. We look through our sectors. Let's take a look at our style factors for today, just so we can see the composition of this rally. And we can see we had leadership, international value up 0.92%, momentum was up 1.14%, and we had laggards in high div, low vol, which is a very defensive area of the market, and cyclicals. Cyclicals have been a leader. So to me, it's kind of like, all right, we're getting one of these leadership style factors selling off a little bit into OPEX. It's still in the number 2 momentum slot. To me, that's kind of just, for right now, I'm taking it as noise. All right, let's go through some of my trades for today. Let's check it out. All right, so options trades. Real quick, closed out my CrowdStrike diagonal call spread for 14.35. I had paid 12.33. This one, worked pretty well. Diagonal call spread. Let's take a look at what Crowd did. Crowd finished down 1.05%. No big deal. Asset still looks very strong. Now it is trading at a higher valuation though. Yeah, I got long this stock down here when they announced a new product line. Let's take a look as well. So I got long the Alibaba December 17th 165 calls. Really what I noticed and what I've been noticing is these Chinese stocks are actually pretty strong. So I'm trying to get on board with this trend that I think is beginning. Check this out. So we've had a really nice move off the lows, and now we're just consolidating sideways at the 50-day moving average. This is a really quick move. We do need more time for that 20-day moving average to potentially catch up to price, but we have a virgin point of control right here at almost 180 bucks. So I'm really playing for a trip up to that virgin point of control. See, I took those on the long side. Then I tried a trade in Futu, and this one, I just stopped out of this pretty quickly. So I got long I sold the 71 by 66 October 22nd put spread for $1.95. And I wrote here, seeing signs of accumulation in Futu at these levels, my bet is that the stock will not drop to 66 by next week. It's a 1-star trade, which is my smallest allocation size. Really what happened, I put that trade on at 11.27, literally at 11.39. A headline came out saying Bank of America downgraded Futu, and this stock proceeded to really just cascade. So this is pretty much like a crash. And I was like, I'm not interested in this. Like, if I put this trade on and then 15 minutes later a negative catalyst comes out, I just ended up stopping out of it. So yeah, that one, not really too big of a deal. Took a shot, realized I was wrong, and boom, I'm out of that trade. And then also the other thing, I have my KWeb trade. I sold a call against my longer dated May call, and the call that I sold expired. So basically what I did was I was able to reduce my cost basis on this trade, and now I'm just long these naked KWeb calls. Again, this is a 2-star trade. And then on the stock side, really all I did today was just try to clean up a weak link. So my stop hit on Celsius, and I stopped out of it. Let's take a look. Celsius, boom. Yeah, so Celsius, and this one, it's breaking down below the 20-day moving average. You can see we're getting pretty close to the 50-day. Maybe this one resolves to the upside, maybe it doesn't. But while the market is so strong, I don't really want to be in anything that's showing this level of relative weakness. So if this trade, is worth a shot, but, something's telling me like this asset, it might not be ready for prime time. Maybe people are worried about the upcoming earnings report. But yeah, look, you can see it sold off on high volume. Maybe it's just some OPEX madness, but yeah, better safe than sorry. Took the stop on that one. Let's take a quick look. We're going to pop over to our Big Tech options races. Let's see. Yeah, and pretty much what I'm trying to do is just when things are working, let them go. We're in a nice uptrend. But yeah, if things aren't working, just get them out of there. And here we have our options race. We'll look at today's combined flows. Yeah, we got Tesla in the lead here. We have Amazon, SPY. Let's see if there's any unusual names. So Coinbase doesn't normally pop up, and we see that one is on here. Upstart. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of activity there. And then Alibaba, appearing again. Let's take a look at our Tradescape. All right, perfect. So Upstart, let's see what we got. Pretty much everyone's loading up on calls. Wow. They're buying the 400 strike, 360 strike, 440, 400. And these are all super short dated. So to me, I think what they're doing, I think this is one of those like gamma squeezes. Yeah, because they're just loading up. Yeah, this one they gamma squeezed it. Look at that. So this is classic. When they're gamma squeezing a stock, they typically do it with these really short dated call options. So look at this one. It's like a 10-15. This one they're buying the weeklies for next week at 380. More 10-15, 10-29. So yeah, these are like really short term plays. But yeah, the stock's been great. I am long Upstart in the long-term trend portfolio, so I can't talk too bad about the stock. But this one, I must say, even though I'm long, this is like me like talking against my book here. I guess this isn't too bad. Yeah, nice run, but it probably just needs to consolidate or maybe pull back a little bit. Yeah, now trading at 66 times earnings, which is a little bit on the expensive side for sure. But yeah, nice volume coming into this name. Then what else did we have? So we had Upstart, Tesla. Tesla, nice bullish flow. Tesla had a really good day today. It's another one that I'm long in the trend portfolio. Yeah, Tesla, this is like the bar that just woke everyone up. Tesla's been in a really stealthy uptrend for months now, but now I see this one really coming into like the retail investors' consciousness. And I'm sure now everyone's going to buy it, now that it's really extended. But it is what it is. Could this one make a run back to the all-time highs? Absolutely. Could it go beyond that? Absolutely. So I'm sticking with this one. And then what else do we have here? We got some Facebook, Amazon, Alibaba. A lot of call activity coming in. So yeah, that I was one of these guys. I bought some call options, looking good. Amazon, yeah, call flow as well. So it looks like a lot of bullish flow coming down the pipe. That being said, done for the week. Hope everyone had an awesome week. Now it's time to rest, relax. Now I'm going to be doing my weekend market analysis. That being said, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you all on Monday.